As far back as I can remember, I've been living here on this dark island, always guarding the Master Emerald from anything that could harm it. I don't know why I was given this job, why it was my fate. Destined to be here forever. What the? What's going on here? Oh no! Something's happened to the Master Emerald! Huh? Who are you? Did you do this? Oh, I'll get you for this! Oh! Ah! Hey! No fair! Wait! What's happening to you? Come back here! Whoa, that was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Oh no, it's starting to happen. Without the Master Emerald's power, this whole island will fall into the ocean. It's up to me to find the missing pieces of the Master Emerald. It won't be easy. Pieces flew off everywhere. Guess I better start looking anywhere I can.
Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure. We are now finally tackling the one and only Knucklehead story. So as you can see, we start off in Station Square just like we normally do. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to some of the people around here and see if they have any news. What's going on? The train station's closed. This station is pretty relaxed about time, huh? So the main controls with Knuckles, a piece of the Master Emerald? Sorry, don't know, but you should take a careful look around. This town's full of stuff. Who knows? You might find what you're looking for after all. So as you can see, Knuckles' story is a little bit different from Sonic and Tails. His story is mainly focused on finding all of the various pieces of the Master Emerald, since it was broken apart and stolen by Dr. Robotnik and his Chaos Creature. So that is really our main objective as Knuckles, as we are actually going to be going around from stage to stage, finding many different pieces of the Master Emerald. So Knuckles' main mechanics are pretty much just limited to flying. He can do a glide attack, a little bit similar to Tails, except he can't quite go as high, but he can glide for quite some time. He can also do this punch attack as well. I just kind of showed it off there in the other section of Station Square. And this kid is letting us know we can grab a hold of walls and actually climb. This is probably the most useful ability that Knuckles has, and I know even though it was pretty easy to get around as Tails, climbing around on walls in pretty much every location in this game is going to get you, it's going to be a lot easier to get around, basically. So, but first things first, we're actually going to start the first stage by heading into this building. This is a building we've seen before, and this is going to take us to Speed Highway. So this is actually the stage where we ended things with Tails. We have the bell there, kind of starting off. And if you notice, this was actually the end point of the stage that we had when we were playing as Sonic through Speed Highway. We're now starting here as Knuckles. So Knuckles stages are very unique. Probably one of my favorite take on a Sonic stage. So as you can see here, we are tasked with finding 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. Now this isn't like Tails' story where you are finding 7 Chaos Emeralds. This time around you're just finding several different pieces of the same emerald. So they can be hidden in many different locations. You are given hints by that beautiful red ball of light. She will give you some hints on where the various pieces are found. So we are doing some treasure hunting. So yeah, that's essentially the main gimmick of Knuckles' stages, is he's a treasure hunter looking for the different pieces of the Master Emerald, and we are set out to find it. Or set out to find them. So the final score will depend heavily on how quickly you find each piece of the Master Emerald. Now, even though you have 3 that you have to find, you can find them in whichever order you so choose. This is actually not the case in Sonic Adventure 2. They actually changed this. Something I did not like, to be honest. You can still get them out of order, but your hints, and not the hints that you get from that red beautiful ball of light, but the right here, so the blinking. The closer you get to the emerald piece, the faster that your blinker will go off. Blue indicates that you're close, but you're kind of cold. Green is essentially like the next warmer stage, and then yellow means you're getting very close, and then red is pretty much indicating that you are right on top of the thing. So you want to look for that yellow and red color. That means that you're going in the right direction. As you can see, there's one right here behind this wall. We actually get behind the building there. We can actually go inside of it. So kind of cool little window. I don't really know if you consider the window. It's just like a gigantic opening in the wall or in the building there. But that's essentially your blinker telling you you're getting close to the piece of emerald. And what's cool is if you are close to more than one at a time, like I was just there, you can knock this stage out you can knock these stages out pretty quickly, finding, more than one emerald pretty fast. So, however, in Sonic Adventure 2, that's not the case. You actually had to, you could get them in any order, but you wouldn't know that you were close to the other ones until you found the first one on your blinker there. So, pretty interesting, but I really do love these stages. It does take a lot of, it's more like a puzzle solving type of stage where you just kind of have to search around. It's just kind of basic treasure hunting, really. You're searching around until you get close enough till that radar goes off, and then once you're close, you essentially know, and then you can kind of look around and, can freely explore the area. So kind of cool. But we got the first stage done, and we're moving right along. Now we are back at Station Square. Looks like it is now nightfall. But yeah, we have the entire area opened up to us right at the beginning. Beautiful red light letting us know that the casino area is now open. Since it is nighttime, that's the only time that it is open. So what do you have to say, sir? The door on the left opens out onto Casino Street. Have fun. Sounds like the casino is where it is the place that we need to be right now. So we've done this song and dance before. Now that we have Knuckles, we can still glide. Casinopolis is open, but the only way in is closed unless we do a little glidey, a little wall climbing. This is kind of nice and convenient now that we can climb walls. That's a cool little promotional sign there for, looks like a Chow in space film. It's kind of cool. You see a little bit of a variation in Chows there. There's one nasty looking one with a weird grinny face, and the other one's just cute and adorable and cuddly. But I'm not going to sit here and gush all day about Chows. We're going to open up Casinopolis because we have our second stage kicking off right now. So as you can see, we already have a piece of emerald in sight. So we're going to see if we can get to that. Wow, all 3 blinkers have pretty much went off at least once already. So that's definitely a good thing. Yeah, if you get all 3 blinkers to go off at the same time, especially this early on in the stage, like I just spawned into the damn stage, you can get these stages done in like no time at all. Where again, it's just kind of disappointing that they took that away in the sequel, but we'll not talk too much about that game. We're not playing that game, at least not yet. But for now, we're gonna just oh, here we go. We have the first piece of the Master Emerald, which is conveniently just sitting right there on a pedestal or whatever you want to call that thing. So this stage is pretty fun to play as Knuckles. Now, when we were here as Sonic, we were just kind of focused on grinding up a certain amount of rings. We were here as Tails, but we were only limited to playing in the garbage section where we were racing against Sonic. This time around, we have the run of the place. So we have this open lobby area. Really didn't have a lot to do in this section. However, as Knuckles, we can freely explore this entire place, and with his wall climbing ability, you can get around a lot easier, and you can explore a lot more of this lobby section. And I have to say, I really like this section. If you notice right there in the middle, there's actually a giant golden statue of Sonic. That's actually really cool. You also have these little replicas, I guess not little, but these giant replicas of like slot machines as well. I don't know, they really tweaked up this lobby section for the Knuckles stage. where it seems a lot more fun to explore. Like, there's so many different places that they could hide these emerald pieces in this one. Whereas, you know, the last stage we had like an open city area. This time around, yeah, they could be literally sitting in any location. So we found one already, but I feel like these other two, even though my blinkers have been going off, there's so many different locations they could still be, because this area is pretty wide open. But we're gonna see if we can head over here. This is where I guess both of them are going off the most. So I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of looking around. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so here's an example of an emerald piece hidden inside of an enemy. This will happen from time to time. I actually think this happens a lot more frequently than I'm leading on. But yeah, you will obviously find emerald pieces within enemies, so just kind of destroying them or gliding through them is really the best route. Obviously, you can punch them and destroy them that way to get the emerald as well. So just want to keep, you want to make sure you're keeping aware of that. Because if your blinker's going off and it's like red, and you have a couple enemies around, or there's like an enemy around you, and you're, you know, exploring around and you're kind of hitting your head against the wall, not finding it, it's probably because it's actually located inside of the enemy. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that as well, and, you know, kind of keeping that in mind. We just have one more emerald piece to find. Wow, Knuckles like glitched through the damn wall there. That was actually kind of funny. But we're gonna see if we can find this last emerald piece. I think it's a little higher up. The thing I always remember, these giant ships that have like embers on them. I don't know if they're like, it's like a sign that they're burning. Holy crap, there's a ass load of enemies right there. Yeah, we have these little pirate guys. These guys are actually kind of silly looking. I forgot these guys actually appeared in the stage, but yeah, they're enemies, believe it or not. But their models look so damn goofy. I always thought that they just looked like, they just always looked like the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. But yeah, they have freaking pirates, man. Who knew there would be pirates on ships in the damn casino, right? So, but it looks like we're getting closer to the final emerald piece. You might not even be in the exact area you need to be in. So you have to be, you know, you have to kind of pay attention as far as where you've been and where you haven't been. I'm obviously not doing the greatest job, but we finally found it. But that's it for this stage. So yeah, we're gonna blast through these stages like no tomorrow. If you thought Tails' stages were easy to get through, well, you haven't seen anything yet.
Where in the world am I? I don't remember being here before, but something about it is familiar. This is very strange.
We have returned to good old Machu Picchu. No, this is actually not, well, really, I mean, honestly, if you compare the images of Machu Picchu, or if you've ever been there, can't deny that that wasn't where the inspiration for this location was from. Let's talk to our Echidna cousins here. Our tribe has lived with war for a long time. Wars have made us rich, but the chief's daughter doesn't agree with us. What can we do? All right, so yeah, we have our long-lost cousins and brothers. Obviously, they look just like us. Is this life a dream, or is it just a reality? They had to have put that in there on purpose. He's saying the exact same thing. That's kind of funny. They say like the things that like your inner thoughts are thinking, but you're always too afraid to say out loud. Like that's what these guys are always talking about. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of explore a little bit around this area. We've been here before as Tails, so we kind of know the ins and outs of this area. We know where to go essentially to trigger our next important cutscene. Let's go back up here to this one. Let's talk to him. I'm gonna call him Billy because he's always up here. Sacred power? No way. I don't believe it. We're going in to get those stones, and we can rule the world. Yeah, man, you may be a little bit taller than me, but you're not the brightest. You're not the sharpest crown in the box. Like our chief Pachacamac, brave, bold. With him, we cannot lose. We owe everything to Pachacamac. Yeah, we've already heard the. Let's go over here.
Father, please don't!
Tikal, the 7 emeralds are essential to our survival. It is for the good of all our people.
How can I make you understand? Attacking other countries, stealing and killing can't be the right path to peace. No one has the right to take their holy grounds. I beg you, Father!
Huh? Now where am I? Back in Station Square, I see. What's going on here anyway?
You know, I have to say, cream, 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 cream. Okay, sorry. I always get excited when she flies in. It's always an exciting moment. I don't know why, but oh, look, what do we have here? We have two strange little creatures. Look like they are nearly unconscious. Sonic is twitching. I don't know if he's right.
I wonder what those guys are doing. I wonder what those guys are doing.
So that's the Station Square Casino. You can also see some strange guy riding a weird vehicle. I wonder who the hell that is. Sonic and Tails are taking a snooze. Those guys are good friends, aren't they? From what we've heard. Or I guess what we've seen already. But yeah, we can, I love how you can kind of encounter some of the other main characters on the adventure here.
Hey, it's Dr. Eggman. What's he got there? It's gotta be a part of the Master Emerald. Hold on! Come back here!
He's that damn Robotnik up to no good. Yeah, he's went inside that elevator. What's he have to say? Yes? Oh, the elevator that big round guy took? It goes up to the observation deck. You know, where you can see the stars? Alright, so he's giving us a hint that we need to go in there and follow after Eggman. You know, it always makes me wonder. I know Knuckles just traveled to like a different dimension via a very beautiful ball of red light. It has to be like a disappointing buzzkill to come back to like a rundown city. I don't know, maybe just me.
Eggman, give me back the Master Emerald.
Knuckles! Oh, this isn't what you're after!
You're right.
That's okay, though. I can use you as a guinea pig to test it. Chaos! Chaos!
Chaos? It's that creature again. The same one I saw on my island. He was there when the Master Emerald shattered. I'm sure of it. He saved me the trouble of looking for him. Now I'll get him good.
Way to go, Chaos!
Ha! Changing shape won't scare me. Fine, give it your best shot.
Welcome to the boss fight that we have never experienced in this game thus far. This is the fight with Chaos 2. Knuckles is the only character in the game that gets this fight, so this is actually pretty interesting and unique. This fight is actually a little bit more challenging than anything we've seen from Chaos thus far. I would even go out to say that, or I'd be willing to say this is even harder than the fight on the Acadia, where we had to do the little freezing trick, where we had to freeze Chaos in dead place where he's like a giant ball. The only reason I would say that is because Chaos is a lot more defensive in this one, and this move right here in particular is another reason why I would also back up that claim. So Chaos can actually flood the entire floor with his water. He's obviously made of water, but his water will hurt you, obviously, and you want to stay very clear away from that attack. He will also turn into that ball, and he'll kind of bounce around a little bit, but if you use your gliding ability, you can glide right into him, and he will go back to regular form. But when he does his flooding attack, the only way to really get around that is to glide around. I don't remember if you can latch on to the walls in this battlefield, but if you can, I would definitely highly recommend doing that. He is a little bit more defensive, so if you try to rush him, if you try to bum rush him too soon, you will not be able to get in for a clean kill. He will block your attack, rendering it completely useless. So wait for the right moment to strike, and you really shouldn't have too many issues with this fight for the most part. He's going to also do this other attack where he will kind of split into multiple different water balls. You just want to avoid him and then wait until he returns back to his regular form.
Is that all you've got?
What have you won this time? You have yet to see the true powers of chaos.
Yeah, that still doesn't faze me. You hear?
I know something that might. It's about Sonic.
What? What about Sonic?
He's after the pieces of the Master Emerald too.
What do you mean?
You're not the only one on a wild goose chase, idiot. Why should I ruin your surprise?
I wonder what he meant by that. I'd better find Sonic. I wonder why Sonic is after the Master Emerald. I'd better work fast and get to the bottom of this.
Oh boy, we have two strong-minded creatures here. One's a blue hedgehog who will speed right through any situation, and one is a long-armed, red-bodied devil. I really like the tension between Sonic and Knuckles. Even Knuckles and Sonic each have their own specific missions throughout this game and throughout the story. And it's one of the reasons why I really like this game and how far they go with the storylines and the character development, because we do see a lot of personality and uniqueness from each of the characters. They all have their own mission that they were trying to set out to accomplish, and they're going to do just that in any...
You've got the shovel claw. Now you can dig through dirt and stone. Press the jump and action buttons simultaneously.
So the first upgraded ability we will get for Knuckles is the Shovel Claw. Just like the beautiful ball of red light told us, we can now dig into the ground. You can do this both while on the ground, on land, like on foot, but also when you are climbing walls. Anytime you're climbing a wall that has dirt, you can dig right inside of it. And guess what you're going to be using that for coming up in the next stage? Yep, that's it. Finding various pieces of the Master Emerald, this time by digging in the ground. Yeah, they will be found in the ground from here on out. Keep that in mind because it's going to be pretty wild coming up in the next stage. We get this little random switch thing that we can find by digging in that little moat that we just did inside of that cave. That's a weird sentence to say out loud, but that's what we're doing right now. Haven't seen any green stones, but I'm still searching the area, so I might find something. Yeah, you're actually not going to be using those silly little wind stones or ice stones anymore. We're way past those days. We're going to take this little springy switch. Because why not? You know, we got to use a springy switch this time. You want to take it all the way to Angel Island. We actually can access the area now. And over to this monkey. And by setting it down on the ground, it triggers an explosion. Yeah, we are now back at Red Mountain. So this is actually probably one of my favorite Knuckles stages, I'm not gonna lie. I did like, as much as I like Casinopolis, I probably like Red Mountain a little bit more, just because it's so open. You know, that lobby area that we just were in was pretty large and there was a lot to explore, but how much more wide open can you get than an entire mountainous area, you know what I mean? Red Mountain is where it's at. Yeah, so like I said, this is the first stage where we're gonna be utilizing Knuckles' big ability. So you do want to kind of pay attention to specific mountains that may have a blinker going off, and if you're having trouble finding the piece of the emerald on the mountain, you might want to try digging inside of it. So that's what we're going to be mainly using our shovel claw for. I think it has a couple other uses coming up in the story a little bit later on, but that's really going to be its main use and purpose. A radar going off for a piece of a Master Emerald. It looks like it's in between three of these spike balls. Something that's actually kind of cool is they sometimes will do something where, as you can see right there, it was the piece of the emerald was just clearly placed right in between those spike balls or that trap. Sometimes they will place an emerald inside of the ground, in like, you know, in the middle of some of the spike traps like you just saw. So I always thought that was very creative, how they would kind of like the placement of some of the pieces of emeralds. I just always found those to be pretty damn creative in this game. Red Mountain always reminds me of, I don't know if anybody ever had a, when you first bought your very first Nintendo GameCube. So I'm going to take you way back when, all the Nintendo fans, of course. I'm not talking about the PlayStation users, the Xbox people back in those days. Like, I'm talking about the specifically the Nintendo kids. When you bought your first GameCube, you had that preview disc. Remember the preview disc? Yeah, taking it back. But there was a game, there was a disc that gave you a free list of demo titles on your GameCube disc. Sonic Adventure DX was actually the remake, which is actually the version I'm playing on the Xbox 360, but it was ported to the GameCube. That game actually launched on the GameCube's demo disc with a bunch of free demo stages within Sonic Adventure. This for Knuckles was his demo stage. I remember playing this like crazy, just loving the hell out of the game, and I never actually owned Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube when I was playing the demo. I only had the demo stages to play. So you could probably, take a guess. I was playing Emerald Coast a lot as Sonic. I was playing, I think Tails was actually the ice cap stage where you're snowboarding and racing against Sonic. I was playing the hell out of that. So I was always in love with this game just from the demo alone. I never even actually owned it to be able to actually become immersed and fall in love with this game for the first time. That was my first experience with this game, so I just wanted to kind of share that. I thought that was kind of that stage is one of the stages kind of brings back some good memories from playing this game for the first time on a demo. If you go in the middle of Angel Island, you'll see the Master Emerald is still pretty shattered. We were here as Sonic before, and obviously the timeline is still kind of matched up with the others, where we're still kind of traveling back in time and kind of, seeing the story play out again just through another character's eyes. So it is kind of interesting because that's the only time you get to see the Master Emerald in Angel Island actually broken apart when you come here as a Knuckles. So kind of cool. We have a blue creature over here to take a look at.
There's Sonic! Eggman was right. What's that in his hand? It looks like a piece of the Master Emerald. He has no right to have that.
Hey, Knuckles! Whoa! What do you think you're doing?
All right. Put him up. Hand over the emerald now.
That's not gonna happen, buddy!
Seen this fight before, haven't we? It feels like deja vu or something. But yeah, this time the roles are reversed. We are actually fighting as Knuckles instead of Sonic or Tails. 3 oh no's from Sonic. And that's all it takes.
Oh, jeez! Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
Eggman, what's he doing here?
Uh-oh. That's all there is to it. You guys are too easy.
That's a Chaos Emerald.
First come, first serve, they say. And you serve me too well for your own good.
You can't get away with this! Knuckles, did you let him trick you again?
Like you weren't.
Smooth move, Knucklehead!
I've got 4 emeralds now. Here, Chaos. Come here, my hungry pet.
Now look what he is!
No problem. I'll make him eat dirt.
Oh boy, and the fun still doesn't end quite yet. Yeah, we're jumping right back into Chaos 4. Yeah, the third time fighting this boss, I gotta say, so this is the part I really don't understand. So we fought Chaos 2, right? And that was a pretty unique fight. We've never seen anything like that before. We didn't have that fight already. This one is repeated not once, but twice, and I don't really understand why. I get the idea that we have to see how, how much of a threat Chaos really can be, and they really do a good job of giving us that indication. Having to fight him in this one specific form 3 separate times, to me that never really made a whole lot of sense. And this is, and I'm not just saying this because this is my least favorite fight, least favorite fight with Chaos. I think he actually visually looks really cool, and the fact that he's underwater and attacking us from underwater, the thing that he is, the one element he's actually made entirely of, is pretty damn cool. And I like the idea, but it's the same copy and pasted fight, from every part of it. Like, you're jumping off of lily pads, you're avoiding his same attacks we've seen a million times. It's exactly the same, and I would have just liked if they had maybe modified it in a way where, sure, we're still maybe fighting him underwater or something, or like maybe we are, he drags us under the water and he like makes us go down there for a little bit and we run out of air and we have to rely on maybe air bubbles to keep us alive, and we have a whole different phase of the fight that we've not yet seen before, and Knuckles has to fly around the water or like something like that. Like anything that would have gave us some sort of variation in the fight. It just feels too, and I know, again, this game's, I think one of its main weak points is it's just too repetitive. It has the same characters doing the same storylines over and over again. And yeah, like each of their stories are different. Like they're all out to, they're all setting out to achieve a different purpose and a different goal, right? But their timeline and the way that they do that is pretty much the same. So I don't know. I would have liked it if it was just a little bit tweaked up a little bit and we had a little bit of a different phase going into each of the Chaos fights. That's just me, maybe. I don't know. I'm probably alone on that. But overall, still a cool fight. Chaos is so bad, so...
Behold my flying fortress, my creation, the Egg Carrier. Beware, Chaos's true power is yet to be unleashed. We shall meet again!
Hurry, Sonic! What are we waiting for? My workshop's closed, so let's get the tornado and go after him!
Good idea!
Hey, Sonic! You go on ahead without me. I have some things I need to take care of.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here. Let's move!
Good old Sonic. Leave it to good old Sonic to take care of everything. I don't know. I don't entirely trust him to take everything into his hands, right? I mean, he's failed before in the past, hasn't he? I don't know. Alright, so our beautiful big red ball of light is letting us know that the trolley car has now been opened. Indicating that we need to go to the jungle now. So we're going to head over there. Haven't heard from the first party still. Yeah, they're still out there. Buddy, I have a feeling they're going to be out there for quite some time. So I would sit down, make yourself a nice glass of lemonade. Maybe, start tanning. It's just nice and sunny out in this Mystic Mountain area. So, but yeah, we're going to head into the jungle. We're going to do the dirty work for all these guys. We have a stone statue here. Now that beautiful big red ball of light is letting us know there's going to be 2 of these things that we need to basically use as keys in order to unlock the next section. So one of them are given to us right off the bat with no effort needed to get it at all. The other one's going to take a little bit of exploring around the jungle. And yes, if you do not like exploring around the jungle, I got news for you. You're going to have to do it to get this other key, or this other stone statue.
Statues. The door to the past.
I'll just call them yellow statue and gray statue because that's kind of what they are, right, color-wise. So the gray statue is going to be a little bit more cleverly hidden. this little passageway right here, we can actually go inside of it. And if you look at this, this is giving us a motion of a... This is giving us a hint that we need to use our shovel claw to dig in that moat. And yeah, we can grab a silver statue. My bad, I said gray statue, it's really silver. So I'm sorry for all the color perfectionists out there. I don't know if they're out there watching this video, but if they are, I apologize. So we have 2 keys. We found both of them. They're going to float into their little key slots. And that's going to open up something for us there. But I want to actually go and do something else right now before we enter that little doorway that opened up in that temple. We're going to go over here by Big's house. And the reason for it is because of this tree. We can climb it, yeah. So you can actually use Knuckles' climbing ability to climb on top of the tree. We don't want to go inside of that middle of it. I want to wait and do that later. But if we get up here on this ledge, look at this. Nice and shiny. What is that? Let's grab them.
Now you've got fighting gloves. To store up power, hold down the action button. Now you can do the maximum heat Knuckles attack.
So we have now obtained the fighting gloves. This is actually the final upgraded ability Knuckles gets in the game. And yeah, she's letting us know we can now do the Knuckles heat attack. I have never ever found a purpose for using this ability ever. It's really cool. Like, you get to charge up energy like that by holding down the B button, right? The gloves look badass. Everything about it looks stylish. Like, it matches his shoes now. Like, his gloves match his shoes. He's just in style today. But I have never ever taken the time or ever needed to use the ability for any reason. Maybe I'm alone in that. I'm playing the game wrong. But I don't know. Like, you're treasure hunting. You are, you know, kind of just focusing on finding these Master Emerald pieces. The enemies are kind of like a they're kind of like a very small part of the stage where you just kind of either have to just kind of destroy them really fast to get them out of your way, or like in this case there's going to be an emerald inside of one. It looks like it's inside of this enemy. Wow, I stand majorly corrected. I don't know, maybe I've never had to use that for this stage, but I don't remember ever having to use it for any main reason. I have just learned something new. I did it for the first time. I used the fighting gloves for the first time to progress through the game. I don't remember ever doing that. Anyways, so stand corrected. We have already found 2 of the Mastered Emerald pieces. There's only 1 more left to find. This stage as Sonic was kind of a nightmare in hell for me. You know, when I just played through it. But I guess as Knuckles, we're gonna get through it like a slice of cake. You know, like a knife through a slice of cake, just carving ourselves right through it. I need to stop. I just need to stop. But anyways, we need to go ahead and find this last piece here. Yeah, this stage, I do not remember it being this freaking easy. Holy cow. Honestly, when I play the stage as Knuckles, like Sonic's portion is actually not that bad. It's kind of long. It's probably one of the longer stages of the Sonic story, but I remember getting through this stage as Sonic with no problem. And every time it comes down to playing as Knuckles, I feel like I'm always here for like an hour and a half. Or I guess I have been here for an hour and a half, or a minute and a half. But that's it. Wow, that's probably the easiest time I ever had with the stage as Knuckles.
Good enough.
Where am I? This is very strange.
Welcome back to my favorite location in the game. We're actually here during like a pretty peaceful hour. It's light. It's light out. There's no fire happening. It's actually pretty peaceful, I'm not gonna lie. I love this place. Look at the mountain out there in the background. It's very very faded. Very late 90s, early 2000s textures. We can actually go through this door and look at this. Yeah, we actually have a connection between Machu Picchu and that mysterious little island that we've seen only once. So yeah, so kind of cool. So the world is connected, at least this other world. that we can only access through flashbacks via that beautiful ball of red light. But yeah, kind of cool. So that door actually does do something for us. It's one of the only times you can actually travel between those two areas. So we're going to go ahead and head through the walkway and see what's up here. We have, oh, look at this. Those Chaos Emeralds up there on the pedestals? Looks like it. And here's the Master Emerald. Let's take a look. Oh, it's Tikal.
I beg of you, hear me now. My father is coming here soon, and I fear what may happen. You must take everyone away from here. Oh, please. So, are you saying you can't leave this place? I understand. Let me talk to my father again. There must be a better way to do this. Don't worry, my friends. I won't let you down. I must do something quickly.
What? I'm back in front of the altar. This is beginning to blow my mind. Wait a minute, I remember. The broken pieces of the Master Emerald. I have to restore them to where they belong. It's still incomplete. I need to find the remaining pieces, wherever they are. Hey! Look! It's Eggman's flying fortress. That's where the rest of the pieces must be. But I don't know where that ship is. Hey, isn't that one of Eggman's robots? I know. I'll follow it back to Eggman's base. Here I come, Eggman.
Alright, so we have a lot to unpack from that group of cutscenes. What's actually kind of cool is, yeah, those are actually new cutscenes we've not seen yet, so kind of cool. And you're starting to get the idea that this story is really connecting in a way where it's really spanning over multiple different storylines of all the other characters in the game. So we're going to see a lot more of really why Gamma is out here on Angel Island to begin with. Once we kind of get closer to his story as well. So I always kind of viewed Knuckles' dialogue as the inner mindset of like the player of the game. Yeah, Strike's still going on, you know. Knuckles, his dialogue, I don't know why, it just kind of always reminded me of like the internal like mindset and feelings of like the player who's playing the game. Because he's always saying, you know, saying things like, almost like he's thinking out loud what he needs to do. I need to collect the pieces, the remaining pieces of the Master Emerald, or like, what the hell, like, where am I? Like, that's always, you know, some things I was always saying when I was playing this game for the first time, when, you know, you're flashing back between different, you know, realities, essentially, when you're seeing those cutscenes, so.
Just what I thought. Time to make a house call. Now we'll see who's so easily tricked. I can sense that the emeralds are here somewhere.
Alright, so we have now arrived back on the egg carrier. The egg carrier. We have seen this before. Obviously. And I wanted to kind of point something out. I didn't really have time to do it because of all these damn cutscenes.
What's going on? Ah, this thing's always changing.
So we're seeing the egg carrier transform once again. And I wanted to point out, didn't really have time to do it because of all the the loaded cutscenes. But yeah, Knuckles and I really like the correlation between the characters of both Knuckles and Tikal. Apart from the fact that they are both echidnas, they each act as a guardian of the Master Emerald. Tikal acts as the guardian in her own dimension, and then of course Knuckles is the guardian of it here on Angel Island in the main dimension here in Sonic, or in Sonic Adventure. They each come off very, strong-willed and strong-minded, and they both essentially have the same goal at the end of the day. It is to preserve the power of the Master Emerald.
The Master Emerald.
Kept intact.
It can't be far from here.
You can see, yeah, we're sensing against the Master Emerald. This is actually the pool area, or this is actually another area in the egg carrier I've not shown off yet. It's kind of like an in-ground pool. So apparently Robotnik is bougie. But yeah, kind of a cool little section here. We've not really seen this yet, but this is actually going to be where our next stage is, which is the damn Skydeck stage. However, this is not quite as bad as the first two times we've been here. So similar to when we were here with Sonic, you can tilt the ship in many different directions in order to access different parts of it. The main difference is obviously going to be in your gravity here. Gliding around as Knuckles can be a little bit interesting when you are tilting the ship in a different direction. His glide will kind of alter depending on what direction the ship is tilted in. Certain parts may be a little bit easier to get around, other parts may not, but it is far better than relying on Sonic's jump Sonic's jump attack across platforms in order to gain more height on the platforms. You can just kind of freely glide around a lot better. And a lot more suited for Knuckles stages, which is the main reason why I was kind of griping on that part of the stage when we were here with Sonic, because I was just ready to kind of come back and tackle it as Knuckles. But aside from that, the other main reason why you want to tilt the ship in other directions is because you will have these doors, which are down there, that will contain certain equipment that's going to be flying in and out of it. The only way you can open some of these doors is by tilting the ship in a specific direction. If you have it tilted in the wrong direction, those doors will not open, meaning that there can be a piece of the Master Emerald inside of those cargo doors. But you can't access it if you don't have the ship tilted the right way. We luckily already found two. This stage usually gives me the most trouble out of most of the other stages, even in Lost World. Just because I always mess that part up where it is kind of a chore to go back and have to re-tilt the ship in another direction, because it can take a bit of time to get back over in that spot. If you're not too familiar with the stage, you can get lost and kind of lose track of where that lever was. But for the most part, if you play this a few times, it really isn't that big a deal. You just kind of have to remember what direction it's tilted in. That way you can go back up and tilt it in a whole different direction if you need to do that. But that's really it for the main gimmick of this stage. Like I said, it is a little bit awkward to get around because your ship's going to be tilted in many different directions. So just gliding around, like I said, can be a little bit weird at times. So okay, right here. Okay, so these doors right here, this is what we need to do. So we need to tilt the ship in the right direction to get these doors to open. So I believe what we want to do is actually tilt it backwards. So we want to tilt it having those doors facing upwards, or in a more upward direction. And that's going to allow them to open up. I'm going to go ahead and grab a speed boost. I don't really know why they put speed boosts in Knuckles stages, because I mean, yeah, you kind of want to race to find the pieces of the emerald in the quickest amount of time possible. But Knuckles, his controls don't really rely on speed. They rely more on mobility. Just being able to kind of glide around in the right areas. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't understand the purpose of having a speed boost in his stages, I guess. So another thing I don't think I even pointed out yet, I know we're on stage 5 and I'm just now pointing this out, but The big beautiful ball of red light is going to act as your guide in these stages. So she's actually going to point out, not only is she going to tell you what, she's actually going to point you in the right direction of where all of the various mastered emerald pieces are. So the hint system in the second game is a lot more different, where they just kind of give you clues spelled out in like a dialogue box, but this time around they actually point you in the right direction. So kind of cool. I don't really spend a lot of time using it because it's, again, these stages aren't really that difficult, but they're there if you need them, so it's kind of nice to have that if you need it.
Good enough. The last missing piece. All right. Now to restore the Master Emerald. Huh? Oh no, not again. What is the meaning of this?
Alright, and once again we have arrived back at that very mysterious land. I don't remember what this location is called, so unfortunately I don't remember the name for it, but it's as gorgeous as anything I've ever seen in my life. So we actually cannot go back through the doorway now, so that's letting us know that we have something probably very important happening here. So let's go and check it out. Uh-oh, it's on fire again. Knuckles, what did you do? You burn it down, man. Oh no, what's happening here?
Hey, what happened here?
I couldn't stop them. They came, and my father... I had no idea how bad this would turn out. I'm shocked.
Look! It's the emerald! Wait! Is this a dream? It's more like a nightmare.
So we are now spawned back inside of the egg cadia. So yeah, we have that epic battling going on outside on the ship, so we need to head outside and see what's up. Yeah, this is probably the most interesting room inside of the whole ship, this little in-ground pool thing. Man, it's just crazy what he has in his ship. Like, Eggman's secretly living the life where we all want to live.
I finally found all of the missing emerald pieces, but I still can't figure out that creepy monster. Huh? What's that?
Some weird noises there, Knuckles. I don't know if you were drowning there or what the hell that was, but I always found that part kind of odd. We're gonna go over here to the main area.
Not again! I hate you!
Hey, Sonic!
There you are, Knuckles. About time.
I will return!
Eggman, come back!
I'd better let Sonic handle it from here. He'll do okay. Now, I must return to Angel Island and the Master Emerald. No, it can't be! I guess he didn't get enough the first time. You can't stop me from restoring the Master Emerald.
We are now brought back to the fight against Chaos version 6. Yeah, so this time we were obviously playing this fight as Knuckles. The same song and dance that we did last time as Sonic. You just want to make sure you get these little explosive bombs to go off right when Chaos is walking directly in that pathway, allowing it to freeze. And once it is, of course, frozen solid is when you want to go ahead and strike and make your move. I believe it's 4 or 5 hits and this thing goes down. So We've seen this before. We are ready to go ahead and end the madness here, and this is going to actually conclude Knuckles' story. This will serve as the final boss fight for Knuckles, and that is really all there is to it. So Chaos is now nothing more than a bag, nothing more than a box of ice cubes that I'm going to put in my refrigerator freezer tonight.
Yeah, you're finished. What's left now is to return the Master Emerald safely to my island. This should do it. Perfect. All is well now. The Master Emerald and the island have been restored. I'll probably be on this floating island forever, guarding the Master Emerald again. I may not know the whole story behind this, but perhaps it's better that way. I'm at peace once more.
So that is a wrap on Knucklehead's story. My goodness, I have to say, every single time I replay this game, this has to be my favorite part of the entire game. And I know that's hard to say, as Sonic's story is a very close second. I have to go out on a limb maybe and say that Knuckles' story is my favorite story of any character in this game. And the main reason for it is because of the stages, number one. Oh my goodness, the treasure hunting. I don't know why, and I do believe this was the first game that introduced this mechanic and type of stage, but holy cow, it is so fun to play over and over again. And I do feel like it was enhanced and improved and feels even more fun in Sonic Adventure 2. Still has a couple of problems that I think they actually made worse than the first one. But we're not going to talk about that game right now. We're going to focus on the first game. But oh my goodness, these stages, even in the first adventure game, are so freaking fun to play, which is one of the reasons why this game has a lot of replay value, and I can go back over and over again and never get tired of it. Apart from that, the story really starts to kick off here. We see the role that Knuckles plays as the guardian of the Master Emerald, and it goes to show that having so much responsibility to try to preserve the power of the Master Emerald is a very essential task. We're seeing it play out, that if sitting in the wrong hands, the Master Emerald is so powerful that it can completely change everything on a dime. We're seeing it unfold with Eggman and his Chaos Beast and how much destruction they've already caused and are trying to cause in the world to try to take over and accomplish world domination. We're seeing Tikal's story develop even more. The introduction of her father, the chief of the ancient city. So much is at stake with Knuckles' story, and I think that's why his character, in my opinion, feels like the most important character in this story. Aside from that, that is going to do it for Knuckles. So next time we are going to be visiting Amy's story and seeing what role she has to play. And also we're going to see how much trouble she can drag Sonic into. So until then, join me next time on Sonic Adventure. This is J Guy Plays, powering on.
Stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. We all will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. Stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. I get this power to wipe out the havoc and anarchy. This is my plan, it's gonna fight. I won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. We will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. Yeah! Shall not surrender, no. Yeah! Woo!
The new porcupine on the block with the buff chest. Out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles, the blow thrower. Independent flower, magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes through boulders. That's why I stay a loner. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse, I get it on by myself. Adversaries get